You're watching Pulse, and this is episode 86. Time for some Diablo news. In this week's episode, we take a look at followers. Well, yes, mostly just followers. There's a bit of new art and a couple of video updates to look at, though, so let's not waste any time and get into the news. In this week's Diablo news, followers. Yes, I could probably stop right there and just wrap this episode up now because, hey, there really was a lot of talk about the newly announced followers system. So let's have a look at it, shall we? In Diablo 3, going at it alone is a valid option, but it's not always the safest one. As you can imagine, having a brave companion at your side might not save you from the tearing claws of your enemies, but it can't hurt to improve your odds. Fortunately, there are others in Sanctuary willing to risk life and limb to strike out at the nightmares sweeping the land. Non-player characters called followers will accompany you on your journey and join you in battle. You'll be able to meet and recruit 3 followers in Diablo 3, and they are the Templar, Cormac, a hulking spear-wielding warrior following a harsh and unyielding code of ethics, the Scoundrel, Lyndon, a roguish wanderer with a crossbow and a knack for getting into trouble, and lastly, yes, sadly there are only 3, the Enchantress, Irina, a conduit for sorceress forces capable of empowering you and confusing your enemies. There's a lot more to read about these 3, and you can find it all below. If you're wondering, those 3 would pretty much equal a barbarian, demon hunter, and a wizard. All of that does sound pretty tantalizing already though, doesn't it? Apparently these heroes aren't hidden off the beaten path. Their stories entwine with ours, and we'll encounter them as we traverse the lands of Sanctuary. Each follower apparently has his or her own agenda and reasons for fighting against the darkness, and we'll learn more about their histories and motives as we battle alongside them. That sounds really cool. It basically means they won't just be pretty faces anymore. Or I guess in some cases not so pretty. Let's just hope they don't have too much of a personality. Blizzard have also just let us know that these companions will indeed grow in power, aka level, with us, and we will even be able to choose new skills for them and kit them out with new and better equipment. The sweet part of the deal is you won't have to control these followers. Followers act on their own, and the skills you select for them will dictate their behavior in combat. So that's most of the information Blizzard gave us on their official site. Yes, there's a lot more though, just you wait. They ended all off by summarizing it and saying that followers are powerful allies in Diablo 3. They've got skills, gear, levels, personalities, and dialogue. And they've put a lot of work into the system. But their goal is to ensure that they don't get in our way, outpace us in damage, or outshine our importance to the story. They're sidekicks, we're the heroes. When they get clawed to shreds or gored by demonic spines in our stead, we'd best make sure to remind them of that. As I just said, you can read all of the information that I just mentioned on the official Diablo 3 website that some of you may well already have forgotten about. It hasn't really been updated very much recently. Along with the official explanation, we've also received a quick Q&A containing various other cool and interesting facts. You can read exactly how the followers will be integrated into the story of the game, how they'll be different from those in Diablo 2, how the game will or won't be balanced around the followers, how much customization there is to be done, along with the 4 tiers of skills you can get for each one, and lastly, you can read about how Blizzard tried hard to make each follower distinct from the others, putting in hours of voice work and individual casting for them, giving each follower a unique personality. Sounds amazing, the lot of it, and I can't wait to try it out myself. As you can see from the various screenshots and the exciting followers trailer that we've just looked at, it does indeed look like it already has that extra bit of Blizzard polish. Check the followers page out below to read up on all the aforementioned information and more. Well worth it. All that said, I thought I'd wait until now to try and let you down easy. It seems like we won't, after first hearing that we would be able to, use the followers in any form of multiplayer. 8 characters running around plus all the potential pets. It could be complete chaos. That's the biggest reason they're not going to be available outside of single player. Now, sure, that's not really a big deal, and the chances are we will all play the game single player anyway, at least once, so we will get to see them in action and try them out. But that didn't stop fans from whining. Nothing ever does. I think Bashiok said it best when he said the following: if your goal is to be disappointed, then I'm sure you'll achieve it. Tying in 100% with all of that, Bashiok had his hands full recently replying to a great many posts about the followers. The point he seemed to convey every chance he got was that followers are only strong and viable in normal difficulty, and will become weak in Nightmare and more or less helpless in Hell. They are merely meant to be a fun story element, meant to spice the game up or add a little character to it, as if it really needs more, and help new players out, along with teaching them to work with teammates. It's also been discovered that it seems like the followers only progress to around level 25, and assuming they aren't on a totally different XP curve, that would explain perfectly why they aren't great in Nightmare and Hell difficulties. I personally think the followers will be a wonderful addition, and I mean really, if you don't want to use them, don't. Even the official site says that the game can be played perfectly fine solo. It seems to me like the main point of argument here is that Blizzard spent time, extra time, adding something that'll only either benefit a small number of the players of the game or only last for a small portion of it. Yes, in short, people think Blizzard are delaying the game and the beta because they are working on followers. That's pretty ridiculous. As if there wasn't already enough information about the followers, Blizzard did what they normally do when they announce new information, systems, or anything else of the like, went on a press spree of sorts, and many different websites have interviews up with various different Blizzard employees. So if you're interested, which you all no doubt are, you can find interviews with Game Planet, OzGamers, NowGamer, FZ, GameStar.de, IGN, the Spanish Diablo 3 fan site, Game Informer, and more. And lastly, yes, I mean at this time, you can find all the images and artwork being displayed on your screens linked in various posts below. There's a ton of great content to look at that's sure to keep all of us busy for quite some time. Check it out and enjoy. First up in our video updates, we have the 2 latest Diablo podcasts from the guys over at Diablo Inc. Gamers. Yes, it sure is plain to see that they most definitely love talking, and talking a lot, about all things Diablo. In the Diablo podcast episode 8, they talk about the Diablo 3 beta announcement, likely beta content, the durations of past Blizzard beta tests, and more. Quite a good listen for all those wondering exactly what to expect from the beta. In episode 9, well, do you want to venture a guess? Yes, I didn't actually hear you guessing, but I guessed that you guessed that they had a nice long talk about the followers. And that they did. The Diablo podcast episode 9 is all about their thoughts on the freshly announced followers system. To make it all even sweeter, they even get a few guests on during their 45-minute long talkathon. Both of these are well worth checking out, and you can find them in the links below. The next Diablo cast is also available right here on YouTube for our listening pleasure. In this episode, the Diablo fans, guys, and Force have a good long talk about the followers system. Yes, not a surprise there. Along with some talk about the upcoming beta, traits, the latest batches of Facebook like updates, and more. All in all, a lot of fun. Then lastly, in our video and or YouTube updates, we have the next Purgatory episode from Force Strategy Gaming. In this episode, he covers the Diablo 3 beta, again, gems, traits, followers, and more. Yes, more news is always good, and you can check it out right here on YouTube. That's a bonus. First up in this week's art updates, we have the latest fan art watch post from the guys over at Diablo Inc. Gamers. Fan art watch number 92 has a lot of something that we've not seen for quite a while. Barbarians. Many different barbarians in many different types of armor with many different types of weapons, and some just look plain scary. Check them out in full size below. Next up, we have the latest weekly wallpaper post, number 88, titled Followers and Skull Visions. One would think the name would have explained it all, but it's only half of it. In this post, you can find the latest, pretty impressive piece from Holy Knight 3000 that features all the classes from Diablo 3 surrounded by some of his signature glowing runes. You can also find 2 logo-style Diablo skulls, a wallpaper of the new followers, and quite a few others. As always, it seems like the Diablo community is more than ready to provide. Get all of those in full size below too. One quick mention, by the time this video goes up, the Diablo Facebook page will probably already have been updated with its next set of like updates, so check that out too, if you're keen. Now on to the Smalls. In this week's Smalls, over at Diablo Inc. Gamers, you can read a post titled Driven by D3 to Duke Nukem Forever. There's a poll up about the Diablo 3 follower system. You can check out the Dark Library, post number 38, the last of his kind. Then the forums on Diablo Inc. Gamers have gone mobile. The next forum watch post is out, number 69, this one titled Followers, First Posts, and Fajitas. Then lastly, you can check out a higher quality BlizzCon 2010 Diablo 3 panel video. This is courtesy of Blizzport. So with that done, let's head on over to the Diablo 3 questions and answers. What is the max number of trait points that we can get once we reach the level cap? We give them out every 3 levels. The first one at level 3, so 19 trait points available to spend at level 60. And will there be any quests, which are not required for the main story progression, that will award you additional trait points or skill points? Currently all skill points and trait points are meted out purely through gaining levels. Are legendary items still purple? Oh come on, bring back the golden items, like they were in the previous 2 games. Rare items can be purple. Legendary items are orange, rare is yellow, magic is blue, runestones are purple, quest and lore items are green. I know defense reduces damage, but does it reduce damage of magical attacks as well? Or do resistances play a part in that? Defense breaks down to block, dodge and damage reduction. There are individual elemental resistances and armor for physical. What were the core attributes in D3 again? I seem to have forgotten. Attack, precision, defense, vitality and willpower. Why isn't willpower called energy? It's a bit more flavorful. Will gems function differently according to what type of item you put them in? Yes. Weapon, helm, everything else. If hirelings are back, will there be some sort of safeguard to remove all the equipment? Because they lost it so easily before. Well, they can't die, so that helps. They also can't be replaced. If you upgrade the Templar's weapon, it'll be on him forever until you take it off or change it. Can you swap out your follower? Or are you stuck with just one? Yes, that was confusing. You can swap to any follower at any time, and any items you give them will stay with them until you change them. Sadly, that is all the news I have for you and the end of Pulse episode 86. A lot of follower information this week, but hey, new news is always exciting. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up that there probably won't be any Pulse episodes next week. But hey, I will be back the week after that covering all the news I missed and more. Don't worry. I will also probably have a lot of other cool and interesting stuff to share then, so that's good. The other video uploads should continue as usual though. As always, thanks for watching and doing all the good stuff you usually do to help promote these videos. It's all much appreciated. I hope you're all having a great day. Most importantly though, happy followers.